People of House Varun, hear me. We have asked the Great Serpent for deliverance from our calamity, and he has answered us. This outsider has been chosen as the most unlikely vessel for the Great Serpent's divine providence, and he will help save us all. Outsider, please. There is no denying you have been sent here as a sign. You must help us. But there are precepts that must be followed, principles that must be obeyed. Even in these dire circumstances, we cannot turn from Jinan Varun's teachings. You will be granted safe passage through Dazra and the lands beyond. No harm will come to you. On that, you have my word. You even have my assurance that your compatriot here will also remain unharmed. But to truly aid us, you must become part of House Varun. This is not a thing done lightly, and it cannot be taken back. Will you commit to helping us by becoming one of the promised? Well, efforts to do something, anything, about our current dilemma have fallen to political infighting. I believe your arrival, if nothing else, represents a sign from the Great Serpent himself that we must finally put aside our differences and work together. It must be ordained that you would appear before us now, able to hear the speaker when no one else can. You must mean the Zealots. I assure you, they do not represent House Varun. We do not engage with the settled systems. They would attack us just as soon as you or anyone else. And they would certainly never extend an offer to join them, as I do now in this time of desperation. So, will you? We, the people of House Varun, are the promised. The Great Serpent has blessed us with knowledge of the future and our place in it. Our service to him guarantees us a place in the new worlds he will create when he returns to enshroud the universe. A greater gift could not be bestowed upon you. Excellent. Please, come with me. Forgive me for not introducing myself. I am Malibor Dulkev, a member of the High Council of House Varun. I have been asked to represent the Council in this moment. Please, enter our city. You have my word that you will not be harmed. I would ask that until you have become promised, you avoid the citizens of Dazra. They are not used to outsiders. Open the gate! I must temper what I reveal for now, but surely you saw the scaled citadel as you arrived. It was the center of an explosion of sorts that has annihilated most of our city. We have lost many of our brothers and sisters. I believe we are still in danger.
Counselor, what is the meaning of this?
Is there a problem, Makula?
The city is in shambles. The speaker is missing, and here you are leading some outsider through our sacred space? Why allow this husk to defile our city? Have we not lost enough?
Have faith. I believe this outsider was guided here by the Great Serpent himself. Soon, Serpent willing, they will be one of us. But I can be sure and pass your concerns on to the rest of the High Council.
You do
If you
not
wish.
belong here.
I apologize for the interruption. There is a ritual intended for converts to the Promised has not been performed in generations. We are fortunate that there are those still alive who remember the old ways, and have remained prepared for such a moment as this. Herald Inaza, I suspected we might find you here waiting.
I saw the ship landing. I knew immediately that I would be needed.
Indeed you are. This is Inaza Kaisir, Herald of the Serpent. She will guide you through the ritual. I am needed elsewhere, but I assure you that you are in good hands. I have other matters that require my attention, but I will see you soon. You mean, of course, the morning, a crucial part of our history. It is the very ship that delivered Jinan Varun to this moon generations ago. It is, in fact, the ship upon which Jinan first made contact with the Great Serpent. They have never made them like this. It was originally manufactured in the settled systems, of course, but we have made many modifications, improvements. Its presence is a constant connection to our shared history, a reminder of the chain of events that led to us being here today. He has led House Varun since the death of his father Jarek. He was, is determined to return House Varun to glory. He believed he was on the cusp of realizing that goal, and now, well, you have seen him. I should perhaps not speak too much of it, but there has been concern that he was lost to us. Your interaction with him gives me hope. If you can hear him, he is not beyond rescue. Not long, though it feels like an eternity. Jamal and I had only been a part of the council for maybe a year before all this, and we were only ever in subordinate roles. It has been quite a challenge to accept this new level of responsibility. Lovek, on the other hand, has served on the council for quite a long time. He rarely lets us forget it. That depends a great deal on who you ask. Generations ago, we made a decision to pull back from the settled systems. Some amongst us saw that as a mistake, an abandonment of House Varun's true calling. The schism within our people grew until some took it upon themselves to leave, declare themselves the true descendants of Jinan Varun. They are, of course, factually wrong, and incredibly misguided. Any decision about House Varun is the Speaker's to make, but Jinan Varun in his wisdom saw fit to create the High Council to help advise those decisions. We offer perspectives and opinions that can often contradict one another, which can ultimately help the Speaker to guide our people. Or, at least that is how it was before all this. Now, with the Speaker gone, we have temporarily taken over making decisions in his stead. Once this is all behind us, we can restore the intended order of things.
So, the Great Serpent sends you to me. No husk that walk the serpent's path. To enter this sacred cave, there is no turning back. You will be forever changed. This is a path you must walk of your own free will, alone. Will you step forward and emerge anointed, one of the promised. You have not been filled with purpose by the great serpent, so you are merely a husk. But perhaps not for long. Those born to House Faroon spend every day surrounded by our history. The rituals that separate us from the husks happen naturally over time. You have not experienced that. Those who have not answered the serpent's call cannot coexist with House Faroon. And so, if you are to aid us in our time of need, you must become one of the promised. A lesson, a test, a moment for the great serpent to reach out and fill you with something more than what you have been. Then enter, and I shall guide you along the serpent's path. But this is a journey you must undertake alone. Your escort cannot follow. The path lies before you, but it is up to you to walk it. A difficult question. The original converts were accepted in the years after House Faroon first made contact with the settled systems. Once the Serpent's Crusade began, there were fears that anyone from the outside could be spies, infiltrators. And after the Crusade, few were eager to join. When Jinan Varun's son Jarek took power, we pulled back, rejected contact with non-believers. We removed any avenues for converts to find us. But there were those among us who hoped that one day we might help others see the light of the great serpent's teachings. And if we can survive our current situation, your presence here now might sway opinions on future converts. The serpent's path will tell you what you need to know for now. After that, the council awaits. After that, I will be at the temple as I always am, and I will offer counsel as I would to any of the promised. I am. I carry on the traditions that Jinan Varun began and maintain our people's connection to the great serpent. I and others like me look after the temples and offer guidance to those who need it. And now, it seems I am called upon to help the serpent's call fill a new vessel. Truly, I am blessed. Go on and continue to fulfill your holy purpose.
Hey there, Captain. What's the plan today? Oh, we taking a time out? Okay, I'll be right here.
I will await you at the end of the serpent's path. You must walk. It has served more than one purpose for our people over the generations. For a brief time, it was home. But then, in his wisdom, Jinan Varun saw fit to turn it into a way for those outside House Varun to begin to learn, to join us in following the great serpent. That ended after the serpent's crusade. It feels right to see it used again now, in our time of need. Farewell.
Before House Varun, there were humans, first on Earth, then scattered among the stars. And like all humans, they were lost souls, wandering in the dark, looking for a path. One particular colony ship housed several hundred of these souls. They were each alone and isolated, individual tiny flames that could be snuffed out at a moment's notice. But Jinan Barun encountered the great serpent and was given the gift of knowledge. He shared his knowledge with those around him and lit the way for them. They followed his guidance and his light, and they cast aside the burdens of their former lives. And thus, House Varun was born. Now you too have the chance to cast aside your burdens, to relieve yourself of anything that holds you back. The people's hopes and fears and dreams were entrusted to the Great Serpent. They made the leap of faith that brought House Varun to greatness. You may now follow in their footsteps and take that same leap. Embrace the Great Serpent, and he will embrace you. people of House Pharaoh settled this world, at first in these very caves. Shinan Varun himself slept among them in these shelters. It was here that he spread the word of the serpent. It was here that the people of House Varun first understood the truth of their place in the universe. And it was here that the people of House Faroon first understood the truth of the shrouding. The great serpent's return. He will encircle the universe he created, and all those who do not follow will be cast into shadow. And the people weighed this knowledge against their former lives, and saw how they had been blessed despite the difficult new life that awaited them. You too would do well to feel that solace amidst the pain. Until that day comes, we are the voice and the hands of the great serpent. Our every act a sacrifice to hasten his return. Make now a sacrifice to prove your devotion. And remember, whether in life or in death, all must serve. Let us begin the final ritual.
While none since Jinan Varun have stood before the great serpent, we can all feel his presence. To solidify his bond, you are presented with a simple choice. Before you on this dais are several items. They represent different aspects of House Varun's connection to the Great Serpent. Pick the two that call to you. Place them on the altars. Offerings to the Great Serpent that he may fill you with his spirit and make you promise. And so you arise, one of the promised of House Varun. Did you feel the great serpent working within you? Do you feel born anew? Through strength and perseverance, House Varun will triumph over all that stands in its way. I grant you the title of Vindicator. All will know you. All will trust you. Above us, in the grand ship morning, jewel of the Varun fleet, the High Council awaits your arrival. Serve them. Serve the great serpent. All must serve. The serpent's path lies behind you. But will all... Yes, its final resting place is directly above, very near where it first set down on this moon. It was Jinan Varun's guidance that led us to this precise spot where he knew there would be temporary shelter waiting. And after the serpent's crusade, when the morning was damaged and would fly no more, it was only fitting that it return to this location. You are promised. You are one of us. All should treat you as an equal. As the first converts in a very long time, it is a very particular honor at that. For the moment, the council is awaiting your arrival. Let the great serpent forever guide you.